Hey guys, you are here for another episode of Doki Literature Club. Unfortunately today we do not have Nick to do the voices because Nick is working on some Terraria stuff, so all you got is me. And I'm going to be doing all the voices, and they're all going to sound a lot like this voice because I don't do voices. So, let's go ahead and get this party started. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we all really grow this club before. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Ova, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep, complex fantasy worlds. Sorry, I realized that the background music was probably really loud. I apologize. The levels of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up when she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror, says this is Nat, whatever her name is. You can see it. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Well, why do you care? Oh, I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them with them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing at that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, expose your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you could share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Yuri's quiet. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, Monica says. I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own, and the next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone's even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Ova? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Ova, you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That's it. If writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. That's when it all went to shit. No. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me and jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Ah, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem and bring it to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Ova, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Oh, great. Hee. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Ova, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! I feel like this is good. And with that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, Monica, and of course Monica. Well, will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have a chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Oh, Jesus. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Okay, it's time to write a poem. Now we're actually going to do something interactive. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. How many words do I have to pick? You guys are probably like, okay, so we're going to do heartbeat, vitality, unrequited, I don't know. Oh, it tells you which girl is
reacting.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize that until 8 words in, guys, so. Whatever. Infallible. Death. Massacre. I don't know.
I know who that one is.
Valentine. Vivacious. Essence. Contamination. Sweet. And excitement. And then for the last one, Doki Doki. Okay, guys, here we go. Hi again, Ova. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange of me, but at least I kept my word. Well, I'm back at the culture club. Or culture club? Literature club. What? Yeah. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Ova. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. See, you already told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Ova always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come you and Ova can become good friends too? Sayori, silence, ... Okay. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put us into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori, me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Oh my god, this is like that thing you did with Roy.
Yeah, it is me.
Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal, but it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess it means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It will make me happy no matter what. It is so. Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches in her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this nice girl accidentally being so cute? Wait, what? How is this girl? I don't think it said nice. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But it doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheerful conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more, but at the same time, I feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the corner of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But then it only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. But if I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I was just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear it. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What is it about, anyway? Oh my god. Well, when are we going to get to the poems? Why are we talking about this other book? Jeez. Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol in the front corner. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about a girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Ah. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Ova? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange, new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals and their own philosophy that they can believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they made it out to be the knave one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means that you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. Quickly retrieve the book that I had put in my bag. Alright, is it fine if I sit right here? Right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That's it. That is, reading in company of someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad feeling, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not exactly looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk till it's right up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own book copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I do the same thing with my right arm and the right side of the book. That way, I can turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she's finished the page before me, so I turn it on by my own what? Whatever. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently lets go of the paper, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she's also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment, but Ova, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. Ah. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Oh God, please be the poem time. Thank you. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Ah. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't find... Okay, anyway. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait. I sound so thrilled for this. I can't wait. Signori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Signori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. Ooh. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Oh God. Who should I show my poem to first? Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, or Monica? I think Yuri, because that's the one I was reading with, right?
I think so.
Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten up. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? What's this, a freaking interview? Your use of imagery and metaphor indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Because I was just clicking words randomly on a... Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. Where are you going?
I'll be back.
Oh. This is actually my first time, really. Huh. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there were specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up on writing style separate from the topic matter. And they fit the two together. In the end, it results in both of the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even the simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. Okay, guys, it's been about 28 minutes. And I'm going to go. I'm going to save it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you come back next Friday for another Doki Doki Literature Club for Fan Choice Friday. If you guys have any cheap or really free, would be good, really cheap or free games, leave them in the comment section below and we will do a Fan Choice Friday on them. But, like I said, this is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys!